I'm Jim Averill from Tremec Transmissions. Today we're at Classic Chevy 5-Speed and we're going to be installing a brand new Tremec 5-Speed overdrive transmission into the 67 Camaro. We're going to offer some tips and tricks to make it real easy for the average do-it-yourselfer to install the transmission here, make it real easy and simple. So let's take a look at our 67 Camaro. This is our new Tremec TKO-600. It's a 5-speed manual overdrive transmission. It's actually a replacement from our old TR-3550. This has actually got a 0.64 overdrive. We're going to lower the RPMs at cruising speed, going to make that Camaro fun to drive again. And this will handle all the torque that Camaro can throw at it.
While the Tremec can use your stock mechanical clutch fork linkage, including your bell crank and stock push rods, today we're going to install a hydraulic clutch system as a modern upgrade. Additionally, you can use your stock GM aluminum bell housing, or you can upgrade to an optional scatter shield.
The classic Chevy 5-speed swap includes the Tremec TKO-600 5-speed manual transmission and everything you need to do the swap at home or at the shop of your choice. We started our swap by getting our Camaro up in the air. The upgrade began with the removal of the exhaust and the drive shaft in order to remove the stock 4-speed manual transmission. Once we got everything unbolted, we lowered the stock transmission and got ready to swap in our new Tremec TKO.
In order to prep the transmission for installation, the first step is to go ahead and get the hydraulic release bearing installed onto the transmission, which is what we're using in this case. In order to guide the transmission into the bell housing, a simple trick would be to take a hex head bolt like this one, remove the hex head, cut it off, and then go ahead and slot the top of it so that you can unscrew it when you're done. Installing this into the bell housing helps guide the transmission into place. With the transmission jack and the chain securing the transmission to the jack for safety, we're going to go ahead and raise it on up. Also, we remove the shifter mechanism from the transmission to give some added clearance. Right now we're trying to level out the transmission and get the input shaft lined up properly with the clutch disc and then into the pilot bearing. It just takes a little bit of time and finesse and sometimes muscle. Once the transmission is in and aligned, the next step of course is to put the four hex head bolts in that attach the transmission to the bell housing. This upper right one here, oftentimes you'll want to use an Allen head bolt for ease of access, but we're going to go ahead and use the hex bolts in this case anyways. You never want to use your ratchet and crank the bolts down to pull the transmission into the bell housing. You're almost sure to snap an ear off of the transmission, so definitely don't do that. As we took off the stock Tremec shifter prior to the installation of the transmission to make the install a little bit easier, in this case we're going to go ahead and use a different shifter on the reinstall. This is a classic Chevy 5-speed STS 360 offset shifter. This one has a specific offset that positions the shifter stub in the correct location of the 67 Camaro console and gives you perfect shift stick positioning.
We got the shifter bolted to the Tremec transmission and then installed the classic Chevy 5-speed included crossmember. This adapter transmission crossmember has the correct mounting location for the Tremec Overdrive TKO-600 swap. A few little details remained. The speedometer cable, the drive shaft, and the exhaust all had to be reinstalled before we were ready to hit the road and see how that Tremec shifted. The completed swap not only looks good, but it adds a lot of durability and strength to your hot rod's drivetrain. The Tremec TK600 can support 600 foot-pounds of torque or more. Now that we're finished, let's take our Camaro for a ride.
Well, that's a wrap. We finished the installation of the Tremec transmission into the 67 Camaro. Pretty easy install, made a lot of fun to drive. Visit our website at tremec.com or call our technical assistants at 877-4-TREMEC.